Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and to this new series, well not a series, a continuation of the Mosquito build. In case you didn't follow on previous videos, I spent easy maybe 100 hours building this Mosquito. It was a design I think made for the old petrol engines, and I've adapted it to electric, and I've put in two engines. The electric system is actually only designed for a single engine aeroplane. And after doing all the build, tried to fly it, it didn't fly. Right, so my first takeaway is that it's significantly underpowered, and that's a big problem, and that's also combined to the fact that it's probably overweighting in many areas. So the whole video, and maybe I don't know if it'll be one video or more videos, it's going to be about how to get it to lose weight, how to clean it up a little bit and get it to lose weight. I've got some special online graphics. So the initial weight with the original spinners, prop spinners, was 182 grams. Quite a lot, but I thought it would have flown initially. Taking off the spinners, they're heavy, they're very nice, they fit, and almost the shape looks almost like the original thing. It has gone down to 167, but it still hasn't flown. So I've tried to fly it, and in one of the previous videos you might see it's still underpowered. It does fly, but it eventually crashes and doesn't fly anymore. So what I want to do now, I want to figure out what else I have to do to take out some weight. At the moment it's also probably tail heavy, and the most of the weight is actually in front of the CG, in front of the center of gravity, so it's going to be a bit working against me. But overall my first aim is to drop the weight and then see if I have to do something maybe to rebalance it, maybe put some weight in the nose where it's a bit further forward than the engine seal. So I have several ideas what I'm going to do, so follow me along on this one and let's see how we can lose some weight. So the strategy, again I'm going to put up my on-screen graphics. First of all I'm going to try to lighten the weight in the rear. I'm going to take out the hinge. I was actually very proud of these hinges because it's made up of two very small nails, and actually was very nice, but I'm going to take it out. They're metal nails, so I'm going to replace these hinges with some plastic strips that will hopefully lighten it, but maybe a gram or two. I'm not sure how much, but a little bit. The next one that I have is then the engine seals, and that's going to be a huge operation because I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I might need to take off the tissue that's covering the engine seals. These are very solidly built, so I'm probably going to take off the paper and then cut out some strips. That's going to be a huge operation, I think. That's probably going to take up the most. Also on the engine seals, let's see if I can get this on camera. You might see in here, this is what's supporting the landing gear. So I'm thinking of maybe drilling some holes in here. I don't know, big or small holes, drilling them out, and let's see if that removes some of the weight. Similar also, let's say on the rear bulkhead of the nacelle. Again, I'm not sure if you can see this. There's also like a solid piece. It's not thick, it's 1.5 millimeters, but it's maybe can also remove some weight. Also the lower part of the nacelles, I'll maybe try to drill holes or maybe cut strips in it that it lightens the whole thing up. And then the last one that I have is some internal frames, so 0.3 internal frames. If I take off the battery compartment, which is also suffering from usage, there's the battery. There are some elements here that are solid frames, this one namely, maybe you can see it better like this, so maybe I can also drill holes in this, and also this one, and I'm not sure how far back I would be able to drill holes. My worry about drilling holes is going to be dust, so if it gets dust into the servos, that's not going to be a good idea. And also if I drill the holes and the dust stays inside, then it doesn't really help, right? So it's going to be a question of how I drill it and get the dust out at the same time. So those are going to be then the battles going forward. So I'm going to start with the elevator, as I hope that's kind of the simple one, and let's see how it goes. So I'm now down to 160 grams, and let me tell you a little bit about how I did it. I changed out the hinges from the elevator. I don't know where I have them now. Yeah, here they are. These were just these very small nails. I don't think they reach a gram themselves, but yeah, I took them out. Then a bigger one, I took out the weight from the nose. This bolt is like 5 grams in itself. It was lodged here for weight. It's a bit of a trick because I might need to put it back in or something else instead of it. But I took it back off. I took it off because now the point is to get some weight off. And also I took off, let's see if I can point with something. I had here some wires that actually go also on the other side to strengthen the landing gear. So I've pulled them off. So I'm guessing that maybe these pieces of wires, maybe what's on the other side also, plus the nails from the elevator, maybe that's 1 gram, and maybe the bolt is maybe another 5 grams, maybe 6 grams, something like that. So far that is the easy part done, and now I'm going to start on the difficult part, which is to lighten up the engine nest seals. This is where a Dremel or something like that would be useful, but I don't have it. So let's see how I do it. First of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can peel off the tissue and not damage it too much. Let's see if I can use it then afterwards. But to peel it off, I'm probably going to have to wet it, so it's going to be messy here. So this has been getting a little bit sticky, taking off the tissue. I've been making it wet and then pulling it off and scraping it off. As you can see on the left engine, I hope you can see it. Let's see if I can give you something. I've taken out a significant part of the wood. I must admit it is somehow painful from the perspective that it was a lot of work to put it in, and now I take it out. Also from the lower side of the cowling, I've taken things out, and I hope that then with the tissue over it, it will look okay. And that's the progress so far. I've taken part of the tissue from the right engine nest seal already. Still have to do the cutouts and continue with that. But then there is some progress. I have measured it again, and as we can see on my on-screen graphics, I'm now down to 157 grams. So I'm hoping that's 3 grams improvement, that doing the same thing on the other nest seal will give me a similar improvement of those 3 grams. And I still have a couple of tricks up my sleeve with the landing gear and maybe some things in the nose area also. So let's see. And a bit more progress. So I've done the same thing to the right engine, the seal of the right engine, and I've taken out some bits and pieces from it, so it's looks actually much lighter. I still have to do other things, but before that I'll put an update on the weight. So I'm now at 155 grams, which is progress. It's 2 grams less, so it's a bit of progress. And then the next steps are going to be a bit more, I'm going to say a bit more brutal. I'm going to be making holes in the undercarriage and trying to make holes pretty much everywhere I think I can to lighten up the structure a little bit. So I think I'm getting to the end of the activities, but let's see. Let me do the holes and I'll get back to you, and we'll take it from there. So let's wrap up this video and a bit of a summary of what I've done. These are all the bits and pieces I managed to take out. So it's a total of like 13 grams that I've managed to take off, which is not very much. I have to say I'm a bit disappointed, especially as a big chunk is this nut. It's a weight that might have to go back in, so we'll see how that goes. I've put on the tissue covering on the cowlings again. Doesn't look as good as before, but now I don't want to focus on the looks but more on the flight characteristics. I already showed you before the other modifications I did. One more I did is on the aileron here, the right aileron. I changed the trim, so it's now a bit upward, so hopefully it will compensate for that left turning tendency that I noticed. So as I said, I still have to put in some weight in the nose. I'm also checking what I think Tim the plane man said. I'm trying to see if it's got a longitudinal also balance. It does seem to have it, but maybe some weight on the right wing might also help to keep that balance. So that's also something to keep in mind, which is just basically to have it there in the back of my mind. And let's see how it goes. As I say, not too much weight, but the next step will be to try to fly it again. That will be the 3rd time. Let's see if 2/3 a charm before we have to take more drastic action. So thank you everybody for watching, thank you, and I'll see you next time.